Welcome to World Creator's channel. I'm excited about this conversation that we are about to have. So, if you have never viewed World Creator's channel, we're about to get into what World Creatorz is about. World Creatorz is a t-shirt brand that's about empowering individuals to embrace their individuality. It's about expressing yourself to the world by using your voice. World Creatorz is also about just being you, being your authentic self with no apologies. So we thank you for coming in and we hope that you will enjoy this conversation. So before we get started, like I have something to show you. So before we get started with our guests, I'm not for sure you're going to be able to see everything, but we decided to add a different aspect to the World Creatorz channel where we just have conversations with people who are working towards becoming a better version of them. So maybe probably like a year ago, I had wrote this down in one of my books. Like journaling is something that I love to do. And so we know words are powerful, whether you write them down or you speak them out, like things will come into existence for you. So maybe about a year ago, I wrote this down. And right here, I was writing down the concept of what I wanted to do. I was putting down the names of the episodes and people who I may want to have on the channel with me. So for episode 3, I actually put you down. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Like I put you down. It says interview Shay, and I just said because I know that we interacted on Instagram, and I know that you have your own t-shirt brand also. So I was interested in talking to new business owners. So I actually wrote this down. This was about a year ago, and hey, we here today.
Here
So
today.
yes, we are here today. And my guest is Shay. She has her own t-shirt brand. I'm saying your name right, correct?
Yes, or you can always say Shay. Shay is
Okay.
easy.
All right. Yeah. Okay, we'll do Shay. I know how that go with the whole name because I'm Jennifer and I prefer Jen. So that's cool. So we have Shay. She has her own t-shirt brand, which is called Raw Vision. So let's just start off with that. Like, let the people know what Raw Vision is, or slash, how did you come up with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So raw vision is that simple. It's a raw vision.
Yeah.
So basically, raw vision basically allowed me to be 10 toes behind that brand, that name, honestly. So it created a space for me to open my mind, my soul,
Mm-hmm.
and my heart at the end of the day. So raw vision to me, like I said, it created that space for me to embrace a journey that I've always wanted to be on. Who am I?
Yeah.
Who do I want to be? And to me, that vision that I have for me is to help others, put a space where I can help others, encourage others, build young entrepreneurs, just create a space to where individuals can think for themselves,
Right.
not looking
Right.
at me. And to me, raw vision is that space. It allowed me to grow. It allows me to interact with new entrepreneurs. It allows me to communicate better. It allows me to create just a journey for not only myself but others as well.
Right. That's dope. I like the fact that I love the name though because it's kind of like for me it's kind of like self-explanatory, but for you to expand on it is just like it's just dope. So what have you are you so this would be your first time being an entrepreneur?
Yes, actually, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so what have you learned so far? We'll say on your entrepreneur journey. What have you learned so far?
You got to be open minded. You got to be ready to dig deep. You got to be ready to face those challenges. Some days are not going to be easy.
Right.
Some days you're going to want to give up. Some days you're going to be like, forget this brand. I don't even want to do this brand.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to figure out a reason why you're doing it.
Right.
Again, like I said, it's for young entrepreneurs to come out create a space. It created a space for me. So at this moment, I'm still 10 toes behind it, and I'm gonna keep going.
Definitely. Man, some things that I have learned, like you say, some days, F this, like, you feel me? But it's like when you remember your why, that's the thing that keeps you going. When you
Exactly.
really have a passion and you like it's in your soul and you feel it, that's the one thing that keep me going. So did you have to prepare yourself to, I want to say, to create your brand, but was it anything that you had to shift far as like your mindset or anything to get everything started? Like, how did that go for you?
Absolutely. So I did have to shift a lot, honestly. It wasn't easy, just because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a very outspoken person.
Mm.
I've never been one of those individuals to be like, I guess you could say I'm more of a hands-on person, but
Right.
I don't brag about myself.
Right.
But Raw Vision gave me that, I guess you could say, that journey to be able to brag about myself, brag about my brand,
Mm-hmm.
myself behind my brand. So a lot of things shifted. I had to let go of the old me and become a new me.
Ooh.
The old me, again, wasn't always. I'm a shy back person, but at some point I had to put my foot in front of my other foot and be like, you got to get up. You got to find
Mm-hmm.
that voice that you want to be heard. I
Yeah.
mean, so it one of those things is just it became something that I had to force myself into. Honestly, it was really one of those things I had to force myself into, because if I wanted to do it, I had to figure out a way to do it. And it's not going to come easy. It wasn't
Right.
going to be dropped in my lap or anything like that. But I it took me to where I'm reading entrepreneur books. I'm reading the Bible. I'm finding like
Yeah.
it was so many different things that I needed to shift in order for me to be where I am today.
Exactly. That shift in your mindset is not for the weak. It's definitely
Not at
not
all.
for the weak because it's shedding the old you. And you definitely have to put in hard work every day. And so that's why I say we have to give ourselves grace and we have to understand that like our mindset that we are trying to shift from, that's ingrained in us. Some of the things that we do and how we do things, that came from childhood and we didn't
Correct.
carry it on now. And so it's hard to shift out of that. And so it's like giving yourself grace. Like that's very important for us to do it. And it's rewarding when you start seeing the results, when you really put that work in and you start seeing the results, it's very, very rewarding. And that makes you want to keep going.
Yeah.
So, what keeps you going through those tough times? Is it just the why, or do you have maybe like uh, people in your life that help you keep going through those struggles?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have people.
Mhm.
I have not only just people, but I have family.
Yeah,
Those friends became family as I started this journey.
right.
So I do have a spouse as well. She
Okay.
definitely makes sure that, hey, you got to be on
Yeah, yeah,
it. What are you
yeah,
doing?
yeah.
uh, so it's one of those things. Like I do have friends that turned into family. Not only just them, but that why definitely keeps me going. The why is the root of it all. Why are
Right.
you doing it?
Hmm.
Then next thing you know is going to be, when are you going to do it? What are you doing? How are you
Yeah,
doing it? I mean, it flows as it goes. And honestly, I just feel like I can't thank my people enough. And not only my people, but the man above.
oh yeah, definitely.
He created it. He created a space for me as well,
Hmm.
to be able to share that old me. So, I mean, it gives me the opportunity to put my words and my vision out there as well, and help others be able to put their vision out there.
Exactly. Like having a support system is very important. Because it gives you like that encouragement, and especially the ones that you know that are truly down for you, like that encouragement is everything, because like we say, it's gonna be some good days and not so good days, and to have that support is just like, it's just amazing, especially when it's genuine and coming from like your support system. So we, like I said, told you before, we're going to be talking about becoming the person who you want to be. What does that mean to you, becoming the person who you want to be?
Becoming a person that I want to be comes with networking.
Mhm.
Also, meeting you on Instagram, meeting Word Creators all
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
That was something that created courage for me.
Oh,
So
wow.
that helped me become, hey, I know I got something in the back of my mind that I'm visioning, but how do I
Hmm.
start? So
Right.
it helped me to become the person I wanted to be based off just seeing another entrepreneur doing what they want to behind
Mhm.
their brand.
Yeah.
And then I got other friends that also, that are young entrepreneurs as well, but it's they have their own brand, they have their own vision, they have their own reason why and stuff like that. But me becoming who I became was just based off I wanted a different
Hmm.
lifestyle behind what I was doing. So I changed a lot. It not only did it change like my, I guess you could say, my spirit, but it also changed like my development growth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I picked up reading a lot more. I picked
Hmm.
up shedding some old habits of, just eating junk food,
Oh, yes.
having I still gotta get the gut here and there,
That's my
but
weakness. That's my weakness.
exactly. So I still got a few things that I still got to work on, but it who I am today, I didn't get here alone.
Right.
It took a lot. It definitely took a lot, and it definitely took a lot to clear that mindset. And again, each day is going to be different. I learn something different every day
Hmm.
about myself. Some of the stuff that I know today, I wish I would have knew when as a child.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know a lot of people say it that way all the time, but I do believe that I am in a better headspace and a better space
That's,
in
yeah.
just my who I wanted to be and who I am today.
Oh, man, that's excellent. Like, becoming the person who you want to be, how I look at it for me is, it's something sacred. Like,
Mm,
is very sacred to me. Like, I've dived into spirituality more. Like you said, you shedding those old habits, you shedding that old skin, and I am more open to getting out of my comfort zone. Now, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm a fixed sign. And so I'm used to doing things my way. And sometimes I could be stubborn, but to be able to come out of that is, and when you see yourself doing that and making those small steps every day to do that, it's just like I said, it's very personal for me, and it's very sacred to me when you can
yes.
start becoming the person who you want to be. Like, I really have a passion just for encouraging people, and that's really people who are, I'll just say, just becoming a better person who's on a personal development journey, self-discover journey, however you want to say it. Like, I have a passion for encouraging those individuals who are basically like we starting over.
Right,
And it's
right.
okay. Yeah, it's okay to start over. And so it's just like shedding that old skin, getting out of your comfort zone, which was very hard for me to do. And sometimes I still do that. Like, if I could be doing something, then I say, oh, well, you have to do this. Don't forget about doing this. And then I get away from the main task at hand. And
Right.
I'm just like all over the place. But
Exactly.
yeah, we go through that. And so I do have another question. Like, I wrote them down so I won't forget it. So um what are some of the things that you need to do to help you get out of your comfort zone some more?
That's a great question. Some things that I can do to get out of my comfort zone. Is honestly wake up a little early. I mean,
Okay.
wake. I get up early because I
Right.
have to be to work early,
Right.
but the rich wake up at 5 before the world even wakes up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so at the end of the day, I feel like me waking up, I can accomplish a little bit more. Something so simple as that.
Right.
But to get out my comfort zone. Not only just waking up, working out a little bit more instead of 2 days a week,
Right.
increase a number or two. I mean, I mean, I'm not gonna get this weight off me any other way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's I feel like I feel like I can also communicate a little bit more better. You
Okay.
know, this is again, like I mentioned at the beginning, this is an opportunity that I have not been able to do on
Yeah.
my own. So to
Yeah.
have Jen or Word Creators come to me as this opportunity was presented to me, I took it because this is something that I wanted to do.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right.
December 23rd of last year, I wrote some goals down myself. One was to become closer with God.
Okay.
That's most people feel as if they believe in God, but that's not something that they don't know how to get there.
Right.
So I to the best that I knew was to show up in church.
Hmm.
Before this video, I watch church. I stream church. I go to church. So
Right.
that was something that I needed to do to become uncomfortable. Honestly, because I grew up knowing God, but I didn't know the depth of who brought me this
Hmm.
far.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was something that I've learned to grow as well. Some other things that will help me to get, I guess you could say, release some of that uncomfortable
Hmm.
behavior would be networking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reach out to other individuals.
Hmm.
Go to workshops, go to different things. You obviously, you like you said, this it will flow as it flows,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
be willing to flow with
Yep.
it.
Yeah. Yep. You have to be willing to do it. We have to be open. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's so many different things that I know that I I can work on myself, but I want to start with those things because again, those things are what helped me get this far. So it's as long as I continue to push forward, that uncomfortableness would be one of those things that will keep going,
Oh
keep
yeah,
going, keep pushing.
definitely. Yeah.
Next thing you know, we where we want to be.
Right, right. And so I also feel like when you get out of your comfort zone, that's when you will see different opportunities open up
Hmm.
because you're taking those chances, and being open is growth, really.
Right.
And that's really growth. And so like you mentioned, going to like different events. I did that last year. It was a business networking event. The old me, well, don't get me wrong, I did have some struggles as I'm getting dressed. I'm having them thoughts, like them
Right.
intrusive thoughts that come in, like,
Yes.
are you sure you want to do this? Like, what are you really doing this for? And I just had to like block that out. And I just went and I said, I'm gonna just go. And I had a good time. I actually, got a couple of business cards from people. So that was part of me stepping out of our comfort zone. And it's just like, once you sometimes you might think it might not go right, but once you go there or to the event, wherever you're going or doing what you need to do, you be like, damn, that wasn't even that bad like I thought it was.
Exactly.
And so, but those intrusive thoughts would definitely stop you from doing a lot of things. Like, one of the reasons why I even started World Creators is because I always thought about starting a t-shirt brand, but I let those thoughts get to me. Like, I hear those thoughts coming in, like, who would want to buy something from you? Who would want to, support you? So it's like those things stop you. It was also worrying about what people may say or think about what
Right.
I'm doing. It was low confidence at times
Who
I
do I
didn't
know?
really, yeah, times I really didn't believe in myself. It's like all those things was stopping me before I even got started. So one day I was like, you know what, I'm not about to let this stop me. I'm gonna just go ahead and take a chance, because of course the job that I was working at, I'm like, I don't see myself retiring here. Like, I really, and I like freedom. You know,
Right.
I like that freedom. And so I know that tapping into entrepreneurship, eventually you will have that freedom. Starting off, no, you're not going to have that freedom, which is cool because you are doing something you passionate about. And so I just like the freedom. I was like, okay, let me go ahead and start this. And that's why I was just like, I just encourage people to do the things that they want to do, because it's a lot of things that we want to do, but we let certain things hold us back. Like we put these boundaries in our life and we let those
See?
boundaries control us. And so it was just like, okay, I'm not letting these intrusive thoughts or these things that I done made up stop me from doing what I want to do. So that was one of the reasons why I started World Creators. And so yeah, it was just like, man, so do you, speaking of intrusive thoughts, I know everybody deal with them, but has intrusive thoughts ever stopped you from doing something that you wanted to do?
Absolutely, absolutely. It intrusive thoughts can put a damper on you altogether. It may not even want you to
Mm-hmm.
get out of bed.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
type of things. Like it's one of those things. Like intrusive thoughts will carry so much weight on your shoulders to the point where you don't know how to release them.
Right.
I have had moments where, like you said, you'll show up to an event, like, or get ready to go to an event, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, well, who do I know at this event? Why am I
Yep.
going to this event? I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah, yeah.
nobody.
Yep, yep, yep.
So that lack of just not believing in yourself and letting those intrusive thoughts take over is one of those things that I needed to change also.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, those intrusive thoughts will they'll
Oh
shut
man.
everything down. Shut
Woo,
everything down.
it is, yeah, it's like dealing with that on a daily. It's like
Yes.
they're not going anywhere, but you have to just learn how to. I learned not to even listen. And
Yeah,
sometimes, like when those
exactly.
intrusive thoughts come, I be like, "Look, we're not doing this today, so leave me alone. Like, go somewhere with that." Like, that's why I actually some things that I know that work for me that I have to say that. So yeah, those intrusive thoughts would definitely stop you from doing anything, because it's a lot of people who have. I hear people say, you know, I always wanted to do this and I always wanted to do that. And I'd be like, okay, so why don't you do it? And they'd be
Mm.
like, oh, well, you know, my age, I'm 50, 60 years old. I just be like, but you know, it goes back to the mindset. So I'm just like,
Exactly.
you have to let that go. Like you stopping your own self. So
Stopping your growth. Your growth at the end of the
man,
day.
man, growth is just like growth is amazing.
Yes.
Like in all areas, no matter where it is. And so one of my goals was to, like we was talking earlier about the sweets. I love sweets and potato chips is my weakness. And
Yes.
so one of my goals was to start fasting and to start detoxing my body. I never fast before. I was one of those type of individuals that be like, what? Stop eating? I can't stop eating, but it was just like, okay, try it. So that was part of me challenging myself. I am more open to challenge myself. I feel like the more that we challenge ourselves, the more that we can grow. And so I fast. I started fasting in October. And then the last fast that I did was like at the beginning of April. But from fasting, I lost a total of 64 pounds. And it was just like, wow, like that's amazing when you can put your mind towards that goal. And I exceeded my goal. So that was one thing that I did that I'm proud that I started fasting. And actually, like I said, it was to detox my body. I started meditating more. It was just like more clarity for me. And it was just like amazing. But I did have to step away from social media during that time because you just have to be all in. It was challenging. Mentally, it was challenging, but I got through it. So, yeah, that was just like one of my goals that I achieved. And it was just like, wow, that's amazing. I said, if I can do that, I can get through anything. And
Right.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, that was really dope for me. So I heard you mention earlier that you started reading more. What type of books do you like to read?
I like to read all kinds of books. Sometimes it can be thriller. Sometimes it don't even have to be an entrepreneur book.
Right.
It could be just a spiritual book.
Mm-hmm.
Open to just different worlds. To me, I feel like the three books that I'm reading right now. One is the Bible.
Right,
I
right.
can read the Bible every single day. My
Mm-hmm.
daily reader is another book that I read on a daily.
Yeah.
John C. Maxwell is
Oh
also
yeah,
another
yeah,
author that I enjoy.
yeah.
I mean, it's so many different things that I put my hands on a daily. It could be a newspaper, something
Right,
so
right,
simple
right,
as that, or
right.
just an article that I've searched up on the internet. It's so many. As long as you're reading 15 to 20 pages a day, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you're putting something into your mind that you need to put into your mind,
Yeah,
whether it's something not necessarily that's going to help you grow, but it's building that strong connection within you.
definitely.
It's something that I look for things to help me grow on a daily, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's I rather learn something new every day.
Yes.
And I'm not, honestly, to me, I feel like you grow every day if you learn something new every day.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, the things that I do read, I feel like I have a strong connection between all the things that I read. I don't have just a specific person that I read or a specific book that I read. I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
I put my hands on it all.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Because right now, now I forgot the author, but right now I'm reading the 12 Universal Laws. So
Okay.
that's pretty good. Of course, one of my favorites is the Four Agreements. Now that
I do
right
have
there,
that one.
yeah,
Yes.
yes, that's powerful. That's what really help me begin to, well, assist me in changing my mindset. Like, just when you are, like you said, when you read every day, you learning something new, so you continuously growing. But that's the book that really helped shift my mindset, so I recommend anyone to read the Four Agreements. And it's just like, when you read that, it's just a eye opener for me. And so those, yeah, I'm reading the 12 Universal Laws, and then what's the other book? The Celestial. Now, I don't get this wrong. Do I have it back here? Don't. I think it's called the. Oh, I'm bombing now. The
Oh,
Celestial. I can't think of it, but anyway, I'll put it down in the description, whatever I'm talking about. But that's a very spiritual and powerful book. Also, the Celeste thing. See, this is about to mess with me. The Celeste thing. Oh, anyway, I can't remember, but yeah, that I like that book also. So what else I wanted to ask you is, where do you see like at this moment, do you have like any special plans for like Raw Vision? Like, where do you see Raw Vision going?
to me, I do feel as if Raw Vision is taking its next step. Not
Mm.
once this here, the next step for Raw Vision would to be released. I'm
Mm-hmm.
releasing the encouragement portion of Raw Vision
Okay.
through my words, not only just through my shirt, which I currently have on now.
Definitely fire, fire.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But the next step for me is to release something so somebody can actually feel what I feel
Mm-hmm.
as they put on the brand. My
Exactly.
goal is to I had a goal to release this summer, not saying that I'm late, not
Right.
saying that it won't happen,
Right.
but
Right.
anything can happen. So hopefully my goal is to release when I say I'm gonna release, and I'm set myself to that. And it would be this summer. Um,
Okay. Cool.
that's the goal. Where I see Raw Vision going after I release, um, would be basically get that feedback. That feedback is
Right.
going to help me be able to understand what was your Raw Vision as you put on the
Mm.
brand.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
what is your next step in, what is your vision behind Raw Vision? So, just it's one of those things that I gotta, initiate to get out there more.
Right,
So
right.
so hopefully my goal is to be that next level of putting Raw Vision out there.
Okay.
And today is that starting point. I'm
Yeah.
voicing it now.
Yep, it's that. Hey, like you said, you saying it now is definitely time. So as you are preparing to release Raw Vision, um, what is some of the things that are you preparing to do? Like, are you preparing to create more content? Do you already have like that content tucked in and you just going to release the content as you releasing the products?
I do not. So I do have some content. I'm not going to
Okay.
say I have a whole portfolio. As I've been, putting a toe here, there, and a
Yeah.
toe here and there. But I definitely have some content to where I can release as I go.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I would like to. I would like to release the content first before I actually do release.
Right.
Just because it's giving me, you're meeting your author. You're meeting that person behind who's saying what this brand is to them, and what they're expected to do with that brand, and what they're looking for the personal growth with others.
Right.
The more I put content out there, and the more I continue to encourage, the more Raw Vision will be
Oh
exposed.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. The key is consistency.
Yes.
And this is a transparent moment for me. I have not been consistent. Like it because it's so many like I have so many visions where I want to take World Creators, and I think it's a gift and a curse at the same time, because when you
Agreed.
have all these thoughts in your head about what you want to do with your brand, and you be like, well, oh, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know, like that overthinking, that's what stops you from even, you know what I'm saying, putting the content out or trying to be consistent. So I'm trying to be more consistent. That's one of
Right.
the things that I'm working on. And is I have to continuously tell myself to I don't want to just post anything. I want to make sure that it makes sense far as like the messaging with World Creators.
Right.
So I have to be more consistent in that, because it's just like it's millions and millions of people who haven't seen your brand yet. And it's like, I don't want to limit myself. I just don't want to limit myself, and I have been doing that. So that's just like a transparent moment for me. Like I need to be more consistent. And another thing that I want to work on is actually engaging with my community more. And
Right.
yeah,
That's
yeah. And
yes, yes.
by me being like, I'm an introvert. And so I'm comfortable with like doing videos and, my encouraging words. I'm comfortable with doing that, but like taking it to a next level, far as like being on live and all that, like I I'm not there yet, and so
Me either. Me either. I'm telling you. Because
it's
as soon as them views come in and they start typing and
yeah,
putting in that comment, you said what?
yeah. I don't know. It's just like this whole nervousness come over me. But that's like we were talking earlier. That's part of stepping out of your comfort zone. And so one day I had planned to do it. And like I say, them intrusive thoughts stopped me. And I was just like, oh, here I go again. But like I said, I had to give myself grace, because I was like, okay, well, at least I tried to take the first step. And so that's something that I'm working on. And another thing is, I want to put encouraging words on the t-shirts, but it's just about, I have right now I don't have any ideas for content, and that's cool, but it's just like being consistent and showing up every day. And so I need to find ways to show up every day, even when I don't want to be on social media. So are you an introvert?
I sure am.
That's
I
what, because
sure am.
So how does that? How can I ask this question? How does that work with you being an introvert, as far as like putting yourself out there?
It's hard. It's very hard. And like you said, you was getting ready to go live. You found another out. Here you started a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So technically that was an out for you. Me,
Yeah. Yeah.
me per se, I use Instagram as my backbone. I use Instagram not only as my backbone, but I use it as me getting out there.
Right.
I also use like just the visual of looking at other entrepreneurs on, TikTok and stuff like
Yeah.
that, of how they put their stuff out there. And I take the step of, well, this is how you supposed to do it, Shay. This is how you're gonna do it. You create your own voice behind what you need to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I take little things here and there to help me, but being that introvert is just like it's hard. I haven't. You don't know how many times I started over.
Right.
I can honestly say that. You don't know how many times I started over. I don't know the perfect way to get out there yet.
It's not a perfect way.
Exactly.
It's definitely not.
But I don't know how I want to do it. I just know I want to network. I want to network just like how I'm networking right now. And honestly, I feel like doing this is actually working towards what I want to network towards.
Definitely.
And hopefully it goes the way that I planned on it going. And that consistency, like you just said, that consistency is consistency and dedication. And that remember who you are. Remember who you are.
Yeah, that's very powerful. Like remembering who you are. And I try not to like I look at other brands, of course, that I won't say successful, but like brands that I see often, I look at their content and it's just like for inspiration, but I try not to do it a lot because I'm going to be honest. When I first started, though, I guess it was because when I first started, when you start to look at all these different brands, it's kind of like you start comparing yourself.
Yeah, right.
And
so you're prepared. You see, it'd be little because I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But I had to take that out of the equation and understand, like, you're going to get there. You got to start something. You got to crawl before you walk. Man. So I definitely understood. Okay. So it helped you. Okay.
Just I never want to compare myself because that's another factor that'll stop you. And then you'll be like, oh, well, this is just my opinion. I see them doing it this way. Let me try to do it like them. You can look at other people's content and how they're doing things for inspiration, but you still have to do it your own way. So that's one thing that I have learned. And like you say, you have to crawl before you walk. And we all know it's this, like whatever you do in life, it's a marathon. And we have to continue to remind ourselves like that. I'd rather take small steps than to just try to take those big steps and per se blow up as a brand. But then it's just like it fades out. I don't want to do that. It's kind of like always building from the ground up. I feel like with businesses, that's what you constantly will be doing anyway. It's kind of like building from the ground up. So yeah, that's how I feel about that part. So when are you gonna go live?
Well, the date was going to be my anniversary. My anniversary date is in June, the end of June. It's a symbolize of the love that I created at that time, going on 8 years. So it was one of those things that has been pushed back, just because the vendor that I have been working with is not necessarily on the same page as I am. Or
Woo,
maybe it's
yes.
me. I'm close to perfect. So like that's another thing that I had to get rid of.
Okay.
Because being close to perfect has caused me to go from vendor to vendor. Um,
Yeah.
and it, like I said, it may be me, but it's the communication.
Hmm.
And they want to do it their way, and I want to do it this way, and we haven't come to a stump. I guess you could say a ground.
Right.
So honestly, I feel like my 2024 goals that I wrote down on 2023, December
Mhm.
23rd of 2023. I said I'm going to release Raw Vision this year in 2024.
Yes,
Whether
definitely.
I set myself a goal date, as I did,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
again, it's not going to be right then and there, but it will be in 2024.
Okay.
I promise that.
Okay. Hey,
Yes.
I be waiting on it because, like I say, um, I can tell you a dope person. I love the brand. Like I love what it stands for, and it's just like I told you in the message when I asked you to be a guest. Like I love what you post. I can kind of tell like where you are in your life, and I could tell that you were changing things, and so it was just like that's the type of things that everyone needs to see in the world,
Right.
because when they see that and they probably want to get to that same space, like we could be those ones that they just look at and be like, well, hey, they doing it, I can do it, I can make these changes in my life also. So it's just like powerful when you are able to get to the point where you can express yourself to the world. Like when I was younger, I was like a shy person. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't
Right.
want to talk. And now I have came out of that shell. And so it's just being more comfortable with expressing myself, because of course, without the camera on or posting on social media, like I have an opinion, which a lot of people probably do have opinion about everything, but it's just like how I look at things in a different way. I don't, I'm not to that comfortability where I just turn my camera on and say, hey, this is how I feel about that. So maybe I get there one day. And it's just like taking those small steps every day, but it's just like, it's good to see people in a good space mentally, because
Right.
as we know, mental health is key for us to continue on
Absolutely.
this journey. So we can close out with this question. What would you say to anyone who is looking to become a better version of them? Like what would be your advice to them?
My advice to them: do it. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Do it and believe in yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the only person that can believe in yourself to be who you want to be.
Mm,
You're the only person who can do that. You're the only person that can make that change.
yes.
As long as you have that faith and that belief in yourself,
Hmm.
I promise you, you're gonna find that space, and that space, that stomping ground that you need in order for you to stand up for yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That was great, because I tell myself this every day before I even get out the bed. Everything starts from within you. Like we
Absolutely.
don't know. Like I'm so serious right now. Like we don't know how powerful we really are.
Yeah. At all.
And we are so powerful, and it's like once you begin to tap into that and you see how powerful you are, a lot of doors can open up for you. It's kind of like I say, create your own world. That's what you are doing.
Yes.
And we do that every day, whether we recognize it or not. We are creating our own world. And once we begin to realize like everything starts from within us, and we don't need, please y'all don't look outside for validation. Like we
Please
just
don't. Please don't.
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
promise you.
it starts with us. Like
Yes.
everything starts with us. So it's kind of like just doing what you need to do every day. And I said this numerous of times, like take those small steps. And when you continue to do that and you start seeing results, it's just like, wow, like, you know, I'm here. So I just, first of all, I want to thank you again for being my guest. I want to thank you for always supporting World Creators. Like, you always engage, and I really appreciate that. And I wish you nothing but success, like peace and blessings to you and your family. And I appreciate you for coming on, and peace and blessings to your business. Like, Raw Vision is powerful. Like, the messaging is powerful, and I rock with it. And I really do appreciate you for everything that you do and for what you bring into the world. Like, when we really are able to step outside of ourselves and bring our gifts to the world, it will help the world tremendously. So I thank you, and I really do appreciate you. I do.
And I'm going to piggyback off that. I do want to thank you.
Go ahead, do your thing.
I do want to thank you. Not only just you, but Word Creators as well. Word Creators is you. For even allowing me this opportunity to step out of that comfort zone.
Yes.
Step out of that moment of how do I get out there? How do you voice? This was an opportunity for me. I thought I was going to be as nervous as in sitting here sweating bullets, but I wasn't. But I wasn't. I thank you. I can't thank you enough. You've helped me tremendously from the beginning to now, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
So I wish nothing but success on you as well. Keep going, keep encouraging. If anybody is looking for a mentor, Jen is the one, right?
Oh, wow.
Jen
you gonna put me on front like that?
Yes.
You gonna put me on front like that? I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate it.
If you have not checked out either one of our brands, World Creator, she has her shirt on. Also, Raw Vision. Check us out.
Oh yeah, throw your handles out there on social media.
I sure will. My Instagram is Raw Vision. As it is at Raw Vision, RAWVISIONN. Check me out. Check me out.
Yeah, definitely show some love. And handles for World Creators, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at World Creators with a Z. I just thank y'all for tuning in and listening, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.